Liverpool Football Club are set for a surprise when it comes to Arne Slot's tactics going into next season. Now, we know Florian Wirtz has got a here we go for a fee leading up to 150 million euros. How will Frimpong sit in as a predominant wingback in a Bundesliga system under Xabi Alonso? Now going to a flat back four under Arne Slot. And Kerkez, another very attacking fullback. How does Slot fit this all into one system? I'm going to show you how I think he does that in this video. I think it's going to be genius tactics from Arne Slot, dropping Gravenberch into a deeper role, essentially forming a back three, very, very attacking. And the variations in the front three with Salah predominantly on the right, but then you can have Wirtz and Gakpo constantly rotating. It's going to be one of the best footballing systems in the Premier League next season, if not the best. You know, Alex Ferguson always used to say when you're winning league titles, you need to strengthen while you're on top. Missionary FC, while you're on top, strengthen. And exactly that is what they have done. We're going to break it all down in this video. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts. We're closing in now, guys, on 60,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please go down and let me know your thoughts. I want to talk about this lineup here. This is how I think Liverpool will set up on paper. This will probably be an out-of-possession Liverpool side, right? You may have Gakpo in the middle, leading the press. You may have Florian Wirtz. But that is what it will look like on paper. Kerkez, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Alisson Becker in goal, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo. You'd also have players like Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez if he's still there, Harvey Elliott, Endo, Curtis Jones. The squad depth is absolutely ridiculous in this Liverpool squad. But how it's going to look out of position, I think, is a very, very, very interesting system. Because I think it's going to look something along the lines of this. Now, this fascinates me in how Arne Slot is going to get this to work, because out of possession, you may see something like you just saw. In possession, I think it's going to look like this. Konate and Van Dijk will be the two centre-backs, as you can see right there. Gravenberch will tuck in to kind of form a back three, right? You'll have Kerkez and Frimpong essentially playing as two different attacking options. We know how good they are both going forward. I think you may see Szoboszlai and McAllister constantly rotate who's deeper than the other, like I'm moving around there. Now, I think Florian Wirtz is going to pick up this sort of area of the pitch, this left side. Him and Kerkez's link-up is going to be fantastic. I think you may see Gakpo in a striker role, similar to what he has done in the national side for the Netherlands, or you'll see Gakpo go out on the left, and Florian Wirtz will play as a false nine, and you'll see Salah and Gakpo making those inside forward runs in behind. But this team right here, for me, is the strongest 11 in the Premier League. I know City have got Cherki, Rayan Ain't Nouri. They've just signed, the young Norwegian player. They've also got Reinders. I think this is the most balanced 11 in and out of possession. I really, really do think that. McAllister and Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is obviously predominantly an 8/10. McAllister is predominantly an 8/10. Gravenberch predominantly a 6/8. Now, what we've seen in some of Juventus in-game possession and Bologna under Thiago Motta is Gravenberch at times may go to something like this. It may go to something like that. I mean, the amount of different variations that Arne Slot has got. And then behind all that, you've got one of the best goalkeepers in world football, if not the best. You'd probably say right now, Alisson and Donnarumma are probably the two best goalkeepers in the world right now. Alisson's, for me, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. I think, what Donnarumma did in the Champions League was spectacular. But then you've also got players like Curtis Jones that can come in. And then if you put all these players back in their positions, once Liverpool lose the ball, you know, you've then got a very, very stable midfield. You know, you've got Salah and you've got Gakpo, and then you've got Florian Wirtz and a false nine. That, for me, you've got so many different variations. You've got so much balance in that Liverpool team. I honestly think that it's going to take some stopping beating this. I think this will be the team that wins the Premier League title. Then you look at Liverpool's bench, right? The Liverpool bench that played against... let's look at the game on the last game of the season against Crystal Palace, right? Now, we know Trent's gone now, so he's not on this bench anymore, right? Or Trent, as he wants to call himself, not Trent Alexander-Arnold. But you've got Endo, Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott, Diego Jota, Tsimikas is maybe probably going to leave. Keller has obviously left, Konsa and Gomez. The depth they've got in all their positions, for me, it's very, very strong. The only area of the pitch I do think needs probably some strength is the centre-back areas. You look back at this 11 with Virgil van Dijk, Konate, Kerkez, and Frimpong. Let's just move these people a little bit like that. Konate and Van Dijk, if either of those get an injury, the drop-off between Konate and Van Dijk to potentially a Konsa or a Gomez, for me, it is quite significant. Whereas you look at City, have got Ake, Vardial, Diaz, Stones. They've got the young Uzbekistani centre-back. You know, then you look at Arsenal, have got Kivior, who come in and did some fantastic things. You've got Saliba, you've got Gabriel, you've got Timber, who can play at centre-back. You've got Ben White, who can play at centre-back. For me, I think they have to bring in a centre-back. I think if Liverpool go out there and, you know, someone like, I think someone like Guéhi, Mark Guéhi, for me, would be a very, very good addition to Liverpool centre-back. You know, you're looking at picking him up for, say, let's say hypothetically, £40 million. You then, how good of the squad depth would that be to have someone like Guéhi come in, who was one of England's best centre-backs at the Euros, has just had a very good season under Palace, beating City in the FA Cup final, keeping a clean sheet, getting into the Europa League. For me, that would be a very, very good centre-back option. I do think they need one more centre-back for me. And they're pretty much there to rock and roll next season. And what's interesting is Liverpool's biggest threat for me next season is going to be Manchester City. But I think Arne Slot has a lot easier job than Guardiola, because he's got 6, 7, 8 players to gel. Nico Gonzalez, the young Uzbekistani centre-back. How does Omar Mamouche go into next season? Does he play the left wing position, or does he play a different role now that you'd imagine Foden's going to get more game time? You've also got Cherki, Rayan Aït-Nouri, Reinders, this new Norwegian player that probably will go out on loan. I think Liverpool, how they get the balance right between which fullback's going to be predominantly attacking and which fullback's going to be predominantly defensive out of Frimpong and Kerkez. You might see them both, like I said, you might see them on that 11 I've put up. Both see them predominantly go and play in these advanced attacking areas. But the reason why I think Liverpool will go to a back three out of possession, something like that again, is because Gravenberch is so good at mopping up from the counter-attack. I think that team there has got so many variations, so much quality, the availability for pretty much all of these players. No one in that 11, bar Konate and bar Alisson, have really had long-term injuries. McAllister's available every game. Salah's available every game. You're bringing in one of the best playmakers and one of the most technically gifted footballers in Europe in Florian Wirtz, who knows what it's like to win a league title at Bayer Leverkusen and has won a German Cup and has played in Europa League finals, played in Euros. He knows what it's like to play in the big games. You're bringing in him. I think Liverpool next season are going to be so strong, but it's always harder to go and win your second league title. It's all Gary Neville always used to say, once you've done it, everyone knows what you're going to do. So you have to come up with something else to essentially counteract what opposition's managers are going to do to counter your play style. And this is why I think going to a 3 at the back, overloading that midfield of Kerkez, Frimpong, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz will tuck in. With the finishing ability of Gakpo and Salah and the goal-scoring output of Salah, they needed someone, Liverpool, to come in and create as much opportunity for him as they can. And let's be honest, out of all the big teams, they haven't really had someone that can completely dictate that final third in terms of chance creation other than Salah. You know, City have had De Bruyne and Foden. You know, Arsenal have had Salah and Odegaard. Sorry, Saka and Odegaard. But now they've got Florian Wirtz. For me, it's going to be absolutely fascinating going into next season in terms of how strong are Liverpool going to be. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Liverpool are set up like this? Would you make any changes? How much game time do you think Curtis Jones is going to get next season? Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.